Hello, my Aloha tribe. Excuse me, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Wednesday. It is hump day, and here's some mean cards to tell you how to self-care. Oh, I'm not sure if they're mean as much as they are in your face. But yeah, while I wait for people to come on, let's just ran a few minutes behind this morning. So good morning, older sibling. So yesterday I was talking about how, nobody was commenting. Apparently everybody was commenting, and for some reason I just couldn't see it. So sorry about that. Fortunately I did go back and look at the comments. So I was like, oh, whoops, there were people there. Let's see. Ooh, that looks like a cool card. What is that? Ah, yeah. Oh, I like this one. Stay away from the crazy making diet for a hot second. Kale and spirulina taste like ass. Eat some yummy shit. Bacon, chocolate, beer. Get some. Okay, what is happening? What is happening? Sorry, guys. Wait, hold on. I had it plugged in, and I think that's messing with it. All right. It's you. Where are you? All right. So, yeah, get some. Wake up. You were missing some cool shit. Stop sleeping so damn much. That one, that's a double-edged sword there because, but yeah. Oh, here's one. You were the best thing to ever happen to you. Go easy on your ass, buy your own damn drink. Yeah, I buy my own damn drink all the time. So, oh, this feels wildly accurate for the time that we live in. You are talented and fucking amazing. The world needs your power. Use your voice. Don't just use it for dumb shit. I know a lot of people that use their voice for dumb shit. Get out of your head, get into your heart. It misses you. All right, so it's Self-Care Wednesday, and let's do some self-care stuff. So, but what I was saying though, because, it says stop sleeping so damn much. Wake up, you are missing some cool shit. The reason I said that's a double-edged sword is there's a lot of people who go through physical things, autoimmune diseases, depression, and I get it. I know that it's basically saying, there's a lot of people in the world that just, get into their head, and it might be situational, and they just kind of like, kind of peter out on life. So that being said, do your best to just kind of get out into the world. Get out and get some sunshine, all right? Even if you're just in your pajamas and you rolled right out of bed, all right? So, okay then. Let's just get to the heart of today's show. I don't think it'll be very long. I don't think it'll be very long at all. So my cousin Terry, sent me this, and I love it. It's perfect for this show. And also, let's see, there it is. It's perfect for this show, and yeah, like I said, I really love it. Oh, also, I know I was going to say this when I first came on. Even though she has been long past and I never knew her in the physical world, happy birthday, Grandma Elva. Also, for those who don't care, I was baptized 53 years ago today. In Waikiki, baby. That's right, and that little green church is still there. So anyways, good morning, Muddy. So let's get to this. This is from Cuz Terry, the meaning of aloha. All right, now, we all know the general meaning of aloha, but somebody broke it down into words. Okay, Hawaiian words, no less. But, since this is the Aloha Perspective, we don't do much aloha here. We don't do a lot of Hawaiian stuff here, but anyways, also, I'm a little red, white, and blue today. Eyeshadow too. The men are playing hockey today, and I can't remember if it's, gold medal round or just to get to the gold medal round, or maybe that's it. I don't know. All right, I'll find out later. I know the women play for gold, I think, tomorrow. So anyway, so depending on what time it is, you may hear the game in the background. That's right. Shelly Marie goes hard when she cheers. I was looking for my 1980 USA jersey. No, it's not from the 1980s. It's literally from the early aughts of this year, of this decade, century, excuse me. But my older sibling, I can't believe you'd remembered. Of course I remembered. I love your grandmother. Never met her, and like I said, physically. You can take that how you want to take it. But yeah, she's a gem. So anyways, let's get rolling. I'm a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything today. So I'm all over the board. But that's the fun of it, right? When I'm all over the board. Oh yeah. It is Self-Care Wednesday. So it's just like, oh, we got the morning mantras. Let's look at the morning mantras. Look at that cute little piggy. He's like, yeah, see, when pigs fly. He found a way. Oh, and I forgot. Look, it has the cute little coffee cup in there. Aww. See, a little bit of something, whole lot of everything, kids. A little bit, you know. I hope you can hear me, though. I'm assuming you can. Good morning, Catherine. So, yeah, like I said, it's Self-Care Wednesday. We're going to do the meaning of aloha, which actually will tie into self-care. And like I said, this is a generalized meaning of aloha. The meaning of aloha, it entails everything. It's not even it's not something you can really define. It's a feeling more than it's a word. It's I love you, goodbye, or love, goodbye, hello, all those regular things. So when I get to what they broke it down to in Hawaiian words, we'll get there. Oh, thank you, Catherine. Okay, so again, because Team USA Men's is playing today in hockey, I have my red, white, and blue shirt on because I couldn't find the jersey, but my hair is, you can't see it, but it's actually 3 ties, red, white, and blue. So I love our Olympians. I love every single damn one of them. You know, they worked hard to get where they're going. Well, you know, and people can say, well, it's the NHL. Well, they still had to work hard to get into the NHL, okay? So here we go. Number 1, I'm braver than I think. I don't have to suddenly slay every dragon in town, but I can definitely start the day off by looking one in the eye and giving a slow nod, like, you know. Isn't that cute? Look at that little, I don't even know what that is. What is that? I can't tell. It kind of looks like a cat. But you know what? A cat up against a dragon, my money's on the cat. Okay, the dragon might say, I'm going to eat you then. And they're going to be like, go ahead and try, because I'm going to claw the shit out of the inside of your mouth. Ta-da! And then they'll spit him back out. Or I'm going to, you know, throw up a fur ball in your mouth. Yeah, it's gross, right? But the dragon will be like, what the hell? It'll just stun the dragon. So the cat's just giving him a slow. Letting him know, hey, I'm going to let you off the hook for now. The next someone's put a lion in a cannon. That's dangerous. I can do anything I want with my life within the legal limits of my state, country, probationary guidelines. No wasted days, no reason not to try. All right, no reason not to try. Oh, we have a unicorn. Today is a piñata full of unknowns. Time to crack that sucker open and pounce directly on the good stuff. All right, yeah, who doesn't love a good piñata? I was never good at it, but boy, you know, and then as I became then I got older, you know, I just kind of, you step back, right? I remember one year, I'm trying to remember, I think it was my cousin Dia and I, for our younger cousin's birthday, Marie, she's the kind, I think, well, for the most part of all the cousins that hang out, she's the baby, but I think we made her a piñata with booze in it. That's piñata. So anyways, all right. God, I feel so naked without my microphone. The right thing to do isn't always the easy thing to do, but it's easier to know I did it than to hate that I didn't. And reminder to planner. Remember, these are the affirmators, okay? These are the rise, shine, and help yourself without the self-helpiness cards. So they're somewhere between self-helpy and the rebel deck, which would just be in your face, all right? This is a little more subtle, but still snarky. So it says, Monday, forgive them. Tuesday, forgive myself. So there you go. All right, so let's get to the meaning of aloha. Like I said, this is not going to be a very long show today. So, oh, wait, I know, I'm feeling one more. How about you? I'm the only me I've got, so I'm going to speak lovingly to myself from sunup to sunup. That means extra compliments hold the critical anxiety spirals. And the little post-its say, you look better than average. Wow, really? You look better than average? That's all you can do for yourself? You sure can make a lemon square. Wow, you're good at compliments. Okay, post-it notes. You could have done better. But that, like, right? Anybody that worked with me always knew I had post-it notes everywhere. So, the meaning of aloha. Let's get to it. So we're going to go A-L-O-H-A. Oh my God, I always trip myself up on Hawaiian words. Akahai. Akahai, A-K-A-H-A-I. Akahai. Kindness expressed with tenderness. And I'm going to read these and we're going to go back through them, okay? L, lokahi, unity. Now I can't read English. Unity expressed with harmony. O, olu, agreeable expressed with pleasantness. H, okay, this one I tripped myself up because there's a lot of vowels in this. Ha, aha. Jesus, Shelley Marie. Yes, I am Hawaiian. I swear to you, I am Hawaiian. Ha. God, see? What is happening? What is happening right now? Ha, aha. All right, whatever. Humility expressed with modesty. And A, ahonui. Okay, so the H, seriously, it's almost like it's saying ha at me. Patience expressed with perseverance. And you know, I practiced the ha yesterday. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Ha, aha. Ha. There we go. Good morning, baby sibling. Speak of the devil. I was talking. Okay, maybe you can verify it with me. Were you the one that we did the booze pinata for? I can't remember. I legit cannot remember. Dia had this great idea to do, pinata filled with booze. And I cannot remember if it was for baby sibling or somebody else. But I'm pretty sure it was her 30th birthday. So anyways, all right. So A, let's try this again. Akahai, kindness expressed with tenderness. We can't, there's a lot of different ways to look at this, because you would say, well, wouldn't you say that kindness is tenderness? Yes. Okay. She says for some reason that sounds very familiar. So it was you. And if it wasn't, it is you now. So, anyways, again, we're doing the aloha thing, and, akahai, kindness expressed with tenderness. Like I just said, you would think, for the most part, you would think that kindness is tenderness, but not always. I mean, you could throw $5 at someone standing on the corner, right? While you're waiting at a light and they got their sign, and you may think, oh, well, see, I'm showing kindness. But if you're sitting there having to convince yourself that this is kindness, then it's probably just you trying to make yourself feel better about yourself and not actually helping that person. So, some people end up in situations that they, probably never imagined that they would end up in. And they don't need us, just piling on to the crap. And that goes anywhere. It could be in your workplace, your home life, your, amongst your friends, your family. It just could, being on the street. Every so often when I lose my mind on the freeway, driving wherever I'm driving, sometimes I just try to refocus and remind myself, look, you know what? You've had bad days. You have probably been an asshole when you're driven at some point, or maybe something was bothering you, or, whatever. And I just, in those moments when I see people kind of driving crazy, I just try to show a little grace, which isn't easy for me because, I, for the most part, knock on wood, I like to think I'm a good driver. And there are people in this world that they just think that the entire road belongs to them and nobody else. So it can get a little frustrating, okay? But just let that go, all right? So when we show kindness, be sure to show tenderness with it as well. If you're doing something for a parent or a child or a sibling or, again, a friend, don't sit there and say, well, like for instance, today, I'm meeting a friend for lunch, which means I am going to miss the hockey game today. And I have followed every game since they started. And I'm just kind of like, oh, I even tried to sneaky get out of it. But then I thought, you know what? She had a very interesting day yesterday in a good way. I know she's dying to talk about it, and because otherwise she probably would not be forcing herself out of the house. So I mean, for that, because it's her only other day off. So I was thinking, oh man, I gotta go there, blah blah blah. And then, but it's kindness. And the tenderness part is listening. It's not being distracted by what's going on. I already told older sibling, let me know the score as they score, if they score. Hopefully they score, please God. But anyways, so you know, that's just an example of kindness with tenderness. Don't be, you know, there are a lot of people out there who will say, well, I showed up for you, didn't I? I'm here. That's not kindness with tenderness. That is you saying, I didn't know how to get out of this, and now we're stuck, and I'm mad at me, but I'm taking it out on you, all right? So, akahai, kindness with tenderness. L, lokaki, unity expressed with harmony. I feel like we are living in a time now where a lot of people are showing up and coming out for even people they don't know, in defense of them, in, you know, protection of them. And to me, that's unity expressed with harmony. You don't have to agree with my thoughts. You don't have to agree on where I stand with this, but you know, I don't want this to get political either, but I'm just saying that it's even in the climate that we live in, it is beautiful to see people, you know, reaching out to one another. On my social medias, I'll see people in other countries saying, look, you know what, we feel for you. And it's, or even my own people just checking in on Messenger or on Twitter saying, hey, how you doing? I heard your news today, blah, 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 hang in there. You know, and sometimes it's all you can do, right? And, but unity expressed with harmony is when we come together as a group. We come together to love one another, to remind ourselves that we are still human. Humans make mistakes. And that, you know, when someone takes accountability for their mistakes, we have to find a way to unite with them, no matter how hard they might make it. I'm being very specific about a certain situation here, but, and it's hard. It can be very, very hard. I will tell you, there is, bye Kate, but Catherine, I always called her Catherine. Have a good day. So anyways, I think when it comes down to it, look, we can't have unity without harmony. And harmony is more than just music, right? Harmony is, I mean, the reason they use harmony in music is because if one person's off, you're going to hear it, right? But when everybody's together, when everybody, you know, maybe you have that person that's trying to be a soprano, but they're actually an alto, and, you know, they refuse to believe that they're an alto, so they just continue to try to sing in the choir at their, you know, soprano side until somebody comes along and says, look, you either have to adjust or we have to, you know, put you aside. But that's when the whole choir comes together, right? And says, look, we will help you. We understand our voices change as we get older, yada, yada, yada. So not the best example. I don't know. My brain is kind of fried today. But anyways, not the best example, but that's why we talk about harmony in music, right? When you have these like Boys to Men, or a lot of these girl groups, or like the Spice Girls. I love the Spice Girls. I'm sorry, it's my guilty pleasure. But I know, well, not really my guilty pleasure. I don't love them that much, but I do love the Spice Girls when they come on. So anyways, I love Mel B. It's so scary spice. But anyways, when you hear all these people singing, right? Well, this is what unity expressed with harmony is. It's people coming together, sharing their voices, standing up for one another, and being there for one another. You know, they're saying, look, you cannot hurt my friend and not get me. And it's thousands of people saying, you cannot hurt my friend and not get the rest of us, even if we don't know them, because that is what harmony is. It's coming together to create something beautiful. And that's what will save this world. We have to put more love into it. We have to put more peace into it. And we have to put more harmony into it. And we have to figure out how to do this before we lose ourselves. So, Olu Olu. Agreeable, expressed with pleasantness. Yeah, I would say agreeable expressed with pleasantness is when you have an argument with someone and you go, fine. You're agreeing, but that's not pleasant. Fine. I used to be, oh God, that used to drive my parents nuts. You hear me? Blah, blah, blah. Fine. Oh, they hated that. That was like the F word in my teenage years. Fine. But yeah, agreeable expressed with pleasantness. Like I said, this one goes with lokahi. Harmony. Unity expressed with harmony. And that's how you get to agreeable expressed with pleasantness. Now, that's not always going to happen, right? I mean, like I said, the climate that we live in right now, it's a bit fuzzy. It's a bit jaded, if you will. And I know a lot of people don't watch the news, so, you know, or everything I do, I fact check. So everything I post, I fact check. I will not post something that I haven't fact checked. And if I do, it's because I'm just like, ah, and then I'll, then after I fact check it, and if it disappears, it disappears. Yeah, apparently I used to do that to older sibling too. Fine. And she's having a coughing attack right now because she's not being agreeable with pleasantness. I'm just kidding. I hope you feel better. Drink some cocoa. So anyway. Oh my God, I don't know what she's saying, but I heard her say something. Humility expressed, oh wait, no, sorry, that's the next one. So agreeable expressed with pleasantness. I know there are going to be situations that make it very, very hard to be agreeable with pleasantness, but and not every situation calls for that, right? To be pleasant. You do not need to be a doormat for somebody. Holy cow, can you hear her? Are you okay? Sibling? I don't know. Laura, if you can hear me on this, are you okay? Oh, I'm fine. See, there are more ways to use the F word than just fine. You can say, I'm fine. Now, this is also the same girl that when she's laying on the floor dying, I'm fine. Although I will say, last night we had a breakthrough. She was going to, I said, are you sure you're okay? Because she wasn't feeling well last night. So if you guys could send some good juju prayers, healing vibes to her, that would be great. She's had this weird side pain for a little while now, and it's getting a little unnerving. So, anyways, she's walking up, she's like, I'm fine. And then she's like, I kind of wish I wasn't, I can't remember exactly. Okay, yeah, Sammy, I'm glad glad she's fine. Yeah, me too. Yikes. I mean, if you could have heard her, I don't know if you could have heard her. Maybe if I had my mic, you might have been able to, but the iPhone mics are pretty good, so I don't know if you could hear her or not, but that got pretty wicked for a second. Yikes. See, this is what you get with a live. You never know what's going to happen, but that was scary for a second. Anyways, she was just saying, she's like, I wish that I would have learned to be more open about when I'm not feeling well, and to really kind of, basically just put words to it. Because I think a lot of us, I would definitely say Gen Xers, a lot of boomers, and some of our millennials, right, including baby sibling, will sit there and say, like, well, I hurt myself. Well, suck it up. Like you're falling, you're on the ground, right? Your leg is broken. Well, just get back up and walk it off. I mean, obviously not that bad, but oh, that's right. So her COPD is kicking in. This poor girl. If it exists, she probably has it. And that's not hypochondria either. This poor girl, it's almost like she takes on the rest of the world's problems and just carries it herself. And I'm not trying to make her out to be a saint, but I mean, she has CRPS, she has arthritis, she has osteoarthritis, she has a herniated disc, she has COPD. Ay, ay, ay. But the COPD, I told you guys that story, right? The dinosaurs. You know the dinosaur story, right? If you don't know the dinosaur story, you can put it in the comments. Like I said, today is anything goes at this point. You know, we're talking about Aloha, but anything goes today. So, oh God, or when she soaked off her cast. Okay, now, I have a mom on here. All right. I have a muddy, a bestie who knows a lot of kids. And I'm an aunt. And, you know, on what planet would you soak off a cast in a tub? Wouldn't it have made more sense to go outside and soak it off with a hose in the grass? Oh, her dad wanted to kill her. Her dad wanted to kill her. I'm sure she said, fine, or it's fine. I'm fine. And by the way, she was doing that so she could compete in a horse competition. Oh, Sammy doesn't know the dinosaur story. I know I've told this to baby siblings. So, when the Jurassic Park ride first opened a bazillion years ago, back at Universal, older sibling and her mom were like, yeah, let's go. It's the new water ride. It's going to be great, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Now, this is a girl who smoked since she was 9 until she was probably in her 30s. So she smoked a good, fair amount, a lot of time. Okay. All right. This is how I know these two. Oh my God. So Sammy says, I'm giggling over the soaking of the cast. That sounds like something I would have tried. Ladies, get a water hose, stand outside, sit in the grass. All right? For all you people out there that think soaking a cast in a tub is okay, it is not. It is not. That's plaster, kids. That's plaster. All right? So get a damn bucket and go outside. And don't use a pool either, because there's filters in a pool. Oh my God. This is why I love my people. My problem is I always think about the repercussions before I do things. So anyways, oh yeah, it is cold. It's cold here, and that doesn't help her COPD. But anyways, we're talking about the dinosaurs. So long story short, even though this girl smoked, blah, 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 quit. I think she had already quit by then. No big deal, you know. So you would think, because a lot of times that's what's caused by COPD. But instead, a Tyrannosaurus Rex threw up on her. That's right. Something on the ride malfunctioned. And as the dinosaur was getting ready to roar at them on the first hill up, I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because, like, damn. It sprayed hydraulic fluid all over them instead. And unfortunately, sibling inhaled and swallowed some of it. And so that is what caused the COPD. So yeah, see, there you go, baby sibling. I'm cringing at the poor plumbing. Get a kiddie pool, you can throw that away. See? That's a mom. That is a full-on, straight-out mom. I know, I didn't think of the kiddie pool, because I'm just an aunt. But at least I thought of the grass and the water hose outside with a bucket. All right? So yeah, you too. Yeah, but yeah, yikes. Yikes for sure. And Universal did not handle it well at all. Their PR people just, instead of handling it the right way, they handled it in every wrong way possible. And also they had no idea who they were up against, because older sibling was, I don't think she was a manager anymore, but she was definitely an executive assistant, and that says everything right there. But yeah, so basically T-Rex barfed on her, and his innards, known as hydraulic fluid, basically destroyed one of her lungs. So she has about 75% lung capacity. I think it was 75% or 70%. Sometimes it's too cold outside to hose off a cast. Are you kidding me? You live in Southern California. If you can compete outside, you can, soak off a cast outside. Put on a jacket. Don't ruin the plumbing. Ay, ay, ay. Like, legit. We live in Southern California. Even when it's cold, it's still warm to somebody else out there. Although, I don't know. Alexa, what's the weather today?
It's mostly sunny and 51 degrees right now.
Ooh,
Today's high will be 60 degrees with an 80% chance of brief showers. There's a wind advisory in effect until 8 a.m. with southwest winds 15 to 25 miles per hour and gusts up to 45 miles per hour. A severe thunderstorm warning is also in effect until 2:30 a.m. with 60 miles per hour wind gusts possible.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Stay safe out there with those winds.
Thanks, Alexa. Did she say freak storm or freak rain showers? I swear I heard freak rain showers, but I don't know. But yeah, the wind was wild last night. I didn't hear it after I fell asleep, but and I did sleep with my cat. Actually, I was about to fall asleep and she woke me up. But anyways, we're not done yet. So I think I got it. All right, that's the last time I'm going to say that word. That's H. Humility expressed with modesty. Humility expressed with modesty. Baby sibling sounds like some gnarly weather. It has been crazy. We actually had tornado warnings yesterday. Not like, you know, like the Dust Bowl kind of tornado warnings, but we have been known to have a couple of water twisters come up at the beach in Newport. So it gets pretty wild, right? Oh. Older sibling says they set off the Alexa down here when you do that. Oh, because she has her phone on. Alexa, tell Laura hi.
I would be happy to send your text message or email, but I see that you are no longer registered for Alexa Communications.
What?
Please go to settings in the Alexa app, tap Communications, and
Alexa,
follow...
off. Anyway. I have way too much fun when I'm at home. My dad doesn't have an Echo. Who does not have an Echo? Who does not have one of those? I'm not going to say her name again. I'm sorry. Yeah, sometimes we watch this guy on the news, Rich on Tech, and he'll say the A word. And then like I don't know why, but we have 3 of them downstairs. We live in a condo. There's one by older sibling. There's one by me. And I think it's just because they kind of grew. They spawned. And then there's one in the kitchen. But, you know, wait, baby sibling, you don't what? Okay, anyways, I'll wait for her to respond to I don't LOL. I know it's hard, guys, because sometimes the comments come through after I'm done talking and I don't know. I do so much talking, I can't always remember what I'm talking about. But anyways, so oh, she doesn't have an Echo. But didn't she used to have one of the Apple ones? Like one of the Apple speakers that you could ask to do things. So, because if you do, it's kind of the same idea. Or one of the Google ones. I know Google had one. But yeah. The only reason I say that is because older sibling gave dad one. When I told him how fun it can actually be, you know, he's like, oh yeah, oh, they all died. Okay, well, I have an Echo, and mine is an original Echo, and I love her, even though her voice changed. I kind of prefer the more mature lady, but you know, this one's so perky. It's kind of like in the morning, it's like, hey, so and so, what time is it? It is blah blah blah. And it's like, fudge. I can't handle you before my coffee. But anyways, okay. Humility expressed with modesty. And to all my Hawaiian people, my fellow Hawaiians, I'm sorry for butchering that word. For some reason, my brain just will not grab onto that word. See what I mean? Too many A's. Too many A's and H's. It's all A's and H's. H-A apostrophe H-A-A. H-A, wait. It's H-A apostrophe A-H-A apostrophe A. I swear to you, I have a mild lisp. But anyways, humility expressed with modesty. You know, when you take accountability, you don't just say, fine, it was me. You say, you know what, you're right. And I'm sorry, I did it. That was me. So that's humility mixed with modesty, as opposed to you just being belligerent because you were wrong and you don't like the fact that you were wrong. And I recognize both because I used to do that. Fine. Fine, fine, fine. Getting all my faces today, aren't you? It's like, fine. Anyway, so yeah, humility expressed with modesty. That's pretty self-explanatory. And ahonui, the last A. Ahonui, patience expressed with perseverance. Ooh. I would say that kindness expressed with tenderness and patience expressed with perseverance, and also agreeable with pleasantness is, I would say they all go together. So the A, the O, and the A. The other two are good, obviously, but kindness, agreeable, patience, those sometimes are the things you need. I will use myself and sibling as an example, and you've heard this story a million times about how I could often be a hurt person that hurt people, projected quite a bit. This is a knowing thing, and that face was not for anybody but somebody who may or may not be watching now or later. But I know it can be hard, and older siblings showed me all these graces, and it was hard for her. I know it was hard for her. There would be times when she was absolutely in tears, and I would come out of this blind rage, like, why are you crying? You know, literally, right? Because we all hate when people say that. Whoa, you're gonna cry about it? Why are you crying? And I remember that happened to me recently. My dad and I had gotten into an argument, and you know, I'm one of those people that I'm a very emotional person, but because I learned the value in expressing my emotions, but I'm also that person that when I get really pissed, I start to cry. I mean, really angry. And my dad and I don't normally have these kind of arguments. I think he's just in a situation right now that just kind of has toppled him in a bit, and he was frustrated. But it's like I just didn't want to say anything because I knew if I did, it would get worse. And he's just kind of unleashing, you know. And please don't think badly about my dad. That's not normally who he is. But like I said, he's in a situation right now that's kind of upended him, and it's frustrated him. And I think he needed an outlet, so I just kind of sat there. And then he's all, "Oh, are you gonna cry now?" And I said, if I don't cry right now, I swear to you, I'm just taking everything I have to just not want to hit you right now. And I'm not a violent person. I may be verbally, you know, a little out there, and he just kind of looked at me stunned. And I said, I don't cry because you made me sad. I'm crying because I'm pissed. And he just kind of sat back, and I went to my room, and then I came back out about a couple hours later, and he apologized. But I think it stunned him, because I was just like, but he's never said that to me since. You know, just when we get into kind of not arguments, but like these heated discussions about certain things. And that hasn't happened in a while. But yeah, so, you know, sometimes when you have a hurt person that hurts people, it can be very difficult to deal with. It can be very trying on your own nerves. It can really hurt your heart, and it could really, you know. But the difference with a lot of other people between older sibling and I is older sibling would not really revisit it. She would just deal with it in the moment, let it go. And I would be the one that would keep bringing it up, going like, I'm really sorry. I mean, like I said, I feel like I've really kind of healed the majority of the bad things in my life, and I really feel like I've moved away from being a hurt person that hurts people. I can't lie, I still get triggered from time to time, and I have to, you know, kind of implement every single tool I have in place to not go off the deep end. But even all these years later, I still find myself on the apology tour with her, and not because she's asking for it, because she's like, it's fine, don't worry about it, you know, it's over, it's in the past. But it's because I still feel bad about it. So if you can, you know, talk it through, or, you know, not when they're angry, because when they're angry, nothing is going to be settled. Nothing is going to get fixed. It's just going to make it all work, or worse. But do what you can, you know, have patience expressed with perseverance. You know, sometimes you just need to have a sit down And an older sibling and I did actually, there was one time where, because she's a very non-confrontational person, and you know, unless she's protecting one of her own, right? When you're out in public with her, she becomes mama bear. No matter how many of you want to be a mama bear, this tiny little thing just, you know, she becomes mama bear. And if you mess with her people, she will. So, you know, and I'm grateful for that. But she did sit down with me and she's like, look, you know what, you can't keep going on this way. You know, you keep thinking that everybody's just going to abandon you and this, that, and the other. And, you know, for me, and I know this doesn't work for everybody, but, you know, for me, it was very hard to accept the fact that I have depression, that it's just a part of my life. It's not situational. It's not going away. I have a chemical imbalance coupled with all the other things I've been through in my life. The bad stuff, not the good stuff. Fortunately, the good stuff outnumbered the bad stuff, but the bad stuff was bad enough to really kind of leave a mark. But she, you know, she told me, she's like, you really need help. She didn't force me. She didn't do anything. She just waited patiently. And eventually one day I called her and says, I really think I need to be back on my meds again. You know, I think you're right. And at that point I was really kind of starting to come to terms with the fact that I had depression, but I was also healing a lot of bad stuff back then. I was just kind of starting that journey. And of course, just a few months later, after I told her that, and I'm so grateful I had been on my meds, I lost my friend who took her own life. And yesterday was her birthday. But it just kind of sideswiped me. And I thought, God, I really got to get on this. I really got to get on, because I don't want to end up like that. Oh yeah, because every time we went rounds, you would ask if I was going to kick you out. I did, because I was just waiting. It's almost like sometimes I would start these fights because I was always trying to jump in front of an imaginary situation. So it's like, oh yeah, you know, like I would just feel like this. I'm not kidding when I joke and call myself Mount Shelsuvius. I don't know what a volcano really feels like, because I'm not a volcano, but it would just start here and just build and build and build and build. And then it would just feel like this complete weight on your shoulders until you just exploded with like verbal lava. And I am certainly not proud of those moments. But the reason I share those moments is because I do hope it will help other people, whether you're on the side that sibling was on, or you've been in my shoes where I've been, or maybe both, you know, because it is difficult and it is hard and it is challenging at times. People will push you to your brink to see, you know, if you really will leave. And a lot of times it's exactly what I think it was. That was always where our fights would come from. Well, our one-sided tiffs, because I was always so worried that when I was not feeling like a human, when I felt like I was just the shittiest person on the planet, that, oh my God, you know, if I can see it, everybody can see it, and she's going to kick me out. And I don't want to go home, you know, and I don't want to find somewhere else to live because I really like living. A sibling, you know, she's like the best roommate I've ever had. And yeah, we're becoming those two old ladies with cats, but who still hope and pray for a Prince Charming to come along. But one each, okay? We're not sharing one. But but joking aside, it would get scary. And then and half the time I wouldn't even remember what I said. And I am not lying. I would not. It was just such a blind rage that I can't even remember what was spoken. I still couldn't tell you, but I can tell you where the feeling started, because I do remember when she said that now, that it's like, are you going to kick me out now? And that was always it, never prompted by her. And she'd be like, why would you say that? And so finally, when I asked that, the very last time I asked that, she's like, you need to stop asking me that. Because she's like, no, I won't. She's like, if you want to leave, you're welcome to leave. But she's like, I'm not going to kick you out. Because she saw me. She knew there was more to it than just that. And I'm not going to say there weren't times that I stormed out of the house and took long drives. And now you guys know why I take long drives. Now I just take long drives to clear my head. But we have to show patience. And we have to keep persevering. When we know it's more than just, when we know it's something that's driven by pain and driven by some kind of mistrust, distrust, anger at something else. But like I said, you do not have to be a doormat. Sometimes you need to have that sit down. Sometimes you need to have that talk. And, you know, you have to tell them, look, I need you to listen because it's not me attacking you. These are things I think we should work on. And that's exactly what sibling did with me. Now, it may go sideways, it may not. It may work out, it may not. Ultimately, therapy is what got me through. And I know a lot of people won't do it because we're taught not to trust it. But I will tell you, aside from having the support system that I have, including the 3 people that are on now, if it wasn't for sibling, I would not have built that support system. I wouldn't have opened up to other people and said, hey, you know what, I need an ear, you know, and not just siblings. When I say that she saved my life, I'm not kidding. And then as I built my support system, everybody else kind of teamed up and said, hey, you know what, we're going to get you through and we're going to help save your life too. So, and I'm not kidding you guys. There were times when I wasn't sure I'd see the next day. And that's not a sympathy thing. Don't feel sorry for me, all right? Because I'm still here and I'm here to share my story because I think it's important for people to understand how fragile healing can be. And with the whole aloha here, the akahai, lokahi, olu olu, haha, I don't know, ahonui, kindness, unity, agreeability, humility, patience. That's what aloha is all the way across the board. It's kindness, it's unity, it's agreeable, you know, it's humility, and it is patience. And most importantly, it is patience. I have a version of perseverance actually tattooed onto me. Ho'omau. Ho'omau is, well, you can't really, it's upside down, but ho'omau is perseverance. Keep moving forward, keep going forward. Sometimes things don't need to be revisited, but sometimes they do, so they don't keep getting bad and they don't keep getting worse. So anyways, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I thank all of you who have been in my corner and for not giving up on me, because there's no way I think in the world I'll ever be able to repay all of you for that, even sibling. But baby sibling's been there, Muddy's been there, older sibling, my cousin, a bunch of my cousins actually have been there throughout my life, just kind of, you know, pushing me through to the next phase. But the 3 that are on here now have really been pivotal in where I'm at today. They've been encouraging, they've been supportive, they've really kind of told it to me as I needed to hear it. Because I will tell people now, don't tell me what you think I want to hear. Tell me what you know I need to hear. Because that's what's going to make me better. I can't fix it if I don't know what it is. And believe it or not, for a lot of people that don't understand the healing process, you may be looking at that going, how do you not know what it is? Because a lot of times when you have that blind rage, you have no idea what it is. So the truth of it is I think all those moments of anxiety, all those moments of blind rage was me so afraid of people walking away from me, people just leaving me, you know, and people, because I had such a low self-esteem, I had such low self-love and self-respect, that I just automatically assumed that no matter if I'm a nice person or not, you know, no one's going to want to be around me because I'm damaged goods. I'm a tainted soul because of the things that happened to me. They stole my self-worth. And I never realized, or I never knew then, how to build it up. And when you're working with someone who has zero self-worth, that has zero, you know, love for themselves, it can be a challenge, and it can be very, very hard because they can be very destructive. And for me, I ate. I'm a recovering emotional eater. And you know, like I said, I'm sharing all this to help other people heal their stories, because I think it's very important for us to heal our stories. But also, yeah, I did also see her walk away from other people, and that scared me, because at this point, older sibling was like my older sibling, and not just someone like, oh yeah, you're like my sister, you know, but, you know, and I was just, it scared me. It scared me. So, yeah. So first and foremost, the three of you that are on here, thank you for everything you've done for me. You guys are, I have to say, you're three of the most patient people I will ever know in my life. I don't know how you do it, because some of the situations you guys have been in, I just want to, and like I said, I'm not a violent person. I've been punched in the face for protecting somebody else. But I've never thrown one. I've never thrown a punch. And I've always wanted to do those punching bag machines, like the ones in the arcade. But I've seen so many mishaps on YouTube of those. I'm just like, no, that's never going to happen, because I'll be the person that, like, I hit it and it hits me back in the face. Because that's my life. And believe it or not, 30 years ago, if that would have happened to me, I would have ran away crying. Now I would just stand there going, seriously, I knew this was, and I just started laughing. Because the one beautiful few... Bitch. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, baby sibling. I'm sibling. Oh, I should regret telling her that story. She's all, you've only thrown muffins. I have. I threw one muffin and it was half frozen. And that's why I feel so bad. You can't tell that I felt bad, but I felt so bad. Because the one time in my life when I fucking hit something, it was not what I needed to do. I mean, if a Major League Baseball team had seen me throw that day, they would have been like, hire her. Look at that. Spot on. That was a full-on strike right over the plate. Oh, I can hear older sibling laughing downstairs because she's the one I hit with the muffin. Oh, baby sibling. Really, it wasn't funny then. But when I think about it now, and the look on her face, oh my God, the look on her face makes me want to cry. Because she looked at me so stunned, like, I can't believe you did that. But I will say this, in my own mark of penance, I did not eat a chocolate chip muffin for 20 years, guys. I shit you not. I had my first chocolate chip muffin last year. An older sibling said, you haven't had one since then? I said, no, because every time I looked at them, I wanted to cry. Thanks, baby sibling. This is why I love these girls, because they're not afraid to say, yeah, remember that time? And it's like, you know what? And I know people will say that people should... She's sorry, I couldn't resist. At least you guys can laugh about it now. Actually, believe it or not, older sibling laughed about it right after it happened. Like, by the end of the day, when I came home, she was laughing. I kid you not, she was laughing about it. And every time she laughed about it, I cried. And she's like, why are you crying? And I'm all, because I feel so bad. Yes, that's the part I left out. It's not that I just hit her with a muffin, guys. When I say that I hit a strike, she had just had spinal surgery, and I literally hit her right on the spot of the incision. I was like 10 feet away, too. Well, maybe 6 feet away. Like a fishing story, right? No. I was about 6 feet away. I was in the kitchen. She was standing by the front door. And I don't know what came over me. It's just like I felt possessed for a second. And I'm not saying that I was. I take full accountability for this. But, I mean, and then when I hit her, my eyes, I just remember my face just kind of like, like I was aiming for her butt. And I hit her neck. And I was like, or I hit her spine. I know. There. Can you hear her laughing? Oh my God. She's going to town right now, laughing downstairs. I mean, she's laughing out loud. But yeah, I was. When I hit her, I was aiming for her butt and I hit her in her head. Well, no, I'm just kidding. Anyways, I'm taking up enough of your guys' time. So much for a short show, right? I thought this is going to be a short show. Yeah, I'm going to finish at 9. It did not happen. It's almost 9:30. So anyways, don't ever apologize, guys. Don't ever apologize, baby sibling. That is something I have to own for the rest of my... See? Oh my God. Sammy's all... I can hear her laughter. Right? It's so funny. Now I have to do the pretend walk of shame when I go downstairs. Like, remember that time? But no, I kid you not. I did not have a chocolate chip muffin until last year. Like, people would bring them in. Somebody even brought one to my desk once at work, and I said, oh no, I'll have a blueberry. They're, oh, but you love chocolate chips. Oh, I know, but I just feel like blueberry today. Lying through my damn teeth. Yeah, I can't eat that because it's going to make me cry, and I can't enjoy it. So yeah, but hey, at least I love blueberry muffins. So anyways, all right. Oh, I love these girls. Muddy, baby sibling, older sibling. I mean, I love all my people. I do. I truly do. But right now, these girls being on, they really have been the core. They've been Bestie Troy have been the core of my healing and my support in this journey. And I thank every single one of you. Poor baby sibling, me with my yeses and nos and are you sure, blah, 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 you know, and are you sure I'm going to have a love life? Yes. And then, you know, she feels bad because she doesn't know when, and it's kind of like, I put them through the ringer. You know what? I have, this is how you know when people love you. Really, truly. This is how you know when people love you, because even when you drive them nuts, they don't walk away. So anyways, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see you back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public under Shelley Marie Lucas. We are going to do a proper oracle tomorrow because I am home and I am with all my cards. And I have been dying to do a real good oracle Thursday or whatever, you know, oracle day. All right. So the magical unicorns would definitely be in there because I love those. I love that deck. That's like the happiest deck I own. But yeah, older sibling, it keeps life interesting. It does. And you know, at least we can laugh at what used to be pain, right? But like I said, the reason it's more than just a muffin, it was a half frozen muffin. Okay. So even though it wasn't frozen, like, you know, it wasn't like a baseball, it was still hard. All right. That's the only time in my life I ever had that kind of aim. It's like I wish there was a carnival in town that day. But maybe I know now. Somebody pissed me off so I can win a prize. Because when I'm mad, I'm on target. That's terrible. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, so again, we have kindness, unity, agreeable, humility, patience. Use them all with tenderness, harmony, pleasantness, modesty, and perseverance. Have a great day.